Hello, namaste, good morning to one and all. So today we are here to understand a new concept which is called as circulation. So I hope you would have already studied some concepts of circulation in your primary classes as well. So you'll be knowing that circulation is comprising of heart, which is a pumping organ, which is going to help in pumping the blood. All these basic information and basic stuff you would have already understood in your lower classes about circulation. But this part of circulation, what you are going to understand now, is a quite different one, which is going to be understood in depth. So very first, let's try to understand why in this activity of circulation, why does an organism have to show the activity of circulation? See, basically, any organism as such you take, they are all made up of something called as cells. Cells have to be surviving all the momentum. Means it requires few things. One is nutrients. So cell requires nutrients. At the same time, cell requires even oxygen for its survival. So can you imagine a cell to survive without nutrient and oxygen? Impossible. So for every metabolic activity to take place, a cell has to show the respiration activity, for which it requires oxygen, and it requires nutrients for its survival and to show the activity of metabolism. So if it requires nutrients and oxygen, how is it going to get these nutrients and oxygen? Now there comes the importance of circulation. So be it any organism, be it a unicellular organism or a multicellular organism, circulation is a very important activity for the survival of the cells. So in this part of the circulation, we are mainly focusing on human circulatory system. So what is this human circulatory system? So human circulatory system is mainly made up of components, different types of components. So human circulatory system consists of mainly fluid, which is called as blood and lymph. So I call this as fluids. So I call them as fluids. Simultaneously, it is also made up of blood vessels, and lastly, pumping organ. So it is made up of a pumping organ, which I call them as heart. So these are the three components of human circulatory system. So there is presence of blood and lymph, which are called as fluids, and we are in requirement of blood vessels to carry these fluids, and the blood vessels which is carrying the blood and lymph has to pass these fluids with a greater pressure. So that's why you require a pumping organ, which is called as heart, which is going to take up the responsibility of pumping the fluid at a greater pressure so that it can pass through the blood vessels easily. So this is the basic information what we are trying to understand about the human circulatory system. So the moment we try to understand about the human circulatory system, first thing is we need to understand about the fluids, that is blood and lymph. See, we always call the blood as a fluid connective tissue. So it is always considered to be as, blood is always considered to be as fluid connective tissue. It is called as fluid connective tissue. So what is the meaning of fluid connective tissue? So the moment I say fluid connective tissue, blood is such a type of fluid which comes in contact with every other cells in the human body. So that is the reason why we call this as a fluid connective tissue. Hope this is clear to everyone. Any doubts till here, whatever we have discussed? Fine. So in the next slide, we will try to understand what are all the functions of blood, what are the functions of lymph, what are the functions of blood vessels, and how the heart is designed so that it is able to show the activity of pumping the blood. Okay, so until here I hope this part is clear to everyone. So in the next part we'll try to understand the next whatever I just have noted down here. So we'll meet in the next session trying to understand about the other components of the blood vessels pumping organ, which is called as a heart. Okay, thank you all, bye, have a great day ahead.